Who are we? What's the meaning of life? How did we get here? Those questions have never been answered. So we've substituted the answers with religions and things like that. And it's just gotten to where it is now. That so many ideas and interpretations of what we can explain, but we only can see. We only can see that, you know, the sky's moving and you only can see the earth beneath you and the sand and the grass. You can only ask questions, and when the creator of everything is not answering you or answering the people as a whole to, solidify, hey, this is what it is, this is how you got here, this is the meaning of life, this is why you're made, then of course you're going to have a bunch of hoopla or a bunch of people just saying stuff or making up things. And religion, what the meaning of life is. No, this is what the meaning of life is. This is God is real. No, this is how we got here. There's a lie involved because you have 5 different stories. So to hang on to one idea and say that this is the definite answer, well, in that video, make sure you watch that video just to see the breakdown of where I'm going with this. Questioning, first of all, the religion that we're raised in. Even if you're not black, just looking at Christianity, period. Who was King James? I explained in that video how he wrote they wrote a book on demonology before he authorized the King James translation. So in other words, it's just like approve of a demon worshiper authorizing a translation of, this is what some people take to heart. And nothing against any religion. I respect all religion. I respect Christianity. And not saying it's completely evil, but this is the things we got to take in consideration when you really want to know what's going on. So in that video, we see people like William Tyndale, John Wycliffe, who were translating the Bible in English directly from Greek and Hebrew, or Hebrew. I believe one of them did both. And their versions of the Bible were outlawed. That's pretty much what I was explaining in that video. Like, listen, black people, everybody, but mainly black people, it's because of how I explained in that video how, and if you're not black, you may not know this, but they imprint Christianity as a piece of historical document, a piece of a historical documentation of how we got to America. They tell these people that, okay, you're the chosen people of God, and here's the scriptures that say so. So I brought out those scriptures in that video. I bring out who John Wycliffe, these guys that were translating. These guys probably weren't even black, but they were translating the Bible into English, and they were being killed for it and set on fire like they were warlocks and witches. Because they were translating the Bible in English, and it wasn't until the powers that be, the Catholic Church and people that were heavy hitters in society that were able to use their money and wealth to make things happen, they had all those Bibles outlawed and burned, and because it wasn't to their liking. So this is where all of this Saturn worship came from, and was fused into the Bible and fused into the culture, the entire religion, and worshiping Baal and Baal, Baphomet and things like that. That's the version of it that they wanted into it. And it's not like it's some kind of conspiracy or theory. This is well documented things that you can find in the library, find online, or they don't have any problem telling you that they killed these people and put their own version of the Bible out, which is the Bible we have today in the King James Version. They have no problem telling you that they took out these names and replaced these names and replaced this letter and took this meaning out. They have no problem with that. Now, the thing is, you may have trouble finding the early translations. And the more time goes on, you're probably going to have trouble finding anything that's close to John Wycliffe's or anything close to the early translations. You're probably going to have trouble finding. I brought out What is the Bible to Black America, round 2, where I'm pretty much speaking on the similarities of how Jesus and the sun rotates around the earth, and the old legends of the deluge. If you look up the deluge or the flood or whatever, the flood itself is briefly described in the 66 books we have, but there's pretty much rumors of the flood in other cultures, and if you in that video, I'm pretty much describing how the mountains and rock formations that we thought were rocks and mountains, the details of how these giants look fit the descriptions of the stories of old in these religions when they talk about the flood and how the titans were pretty much, the giants were pretty much killed all with the flood. The entire flood of the water raised up to the sky, and the mud itself from the waters beneath drowned these creatures, these spiritual and fleshly hybrids that were pretty much monsters and whatnot. How they were killed from the mudslides and from the floods and whatnot. And so by the time I get to what is the Bible to Black America, round 3, when I was explaining how they were, tons of skeptics always said for years Jesus never existed. I won't go that far, because if they have books that they're hiding, like the Gospel of Thomas, the Gospel of Bartholomew, if any of those guys have actually wrote books and they've been either taken out or hidden, then I wouldn't say the guy didn't exist at all. But maybe he just wasn't what people make him out to be. People make him more than what he was. The true life we all live is basically an insight on our language. And you really have to watch that video to understand my videos, because a lot of things are connected just with the language alone. And then you have Detroit City and Children of the Black Sun. In The True Life We All Live, Part 2, I just can pretty much continue on what Bible says the shape of the earth is. I also, then if you get to my video, Evidence of a Goddess, if it's true series, the if it's true series, I start off with the clips from other videos about the titans and giants. But if you get to Evidence of a Goddess, I break down how if we're controlled in the image and likeness of God, then there's definitely a goddess. In my video, The Bull Jumped Over the Moon, is a video, it burned a fire in me that even in the 60s, they were willing to spend, and even now, they'll spend millions and millions and millions of dollars to fake a moon landing and fake space and fake aliens, but they won't help these poor communities. My What is Water video is a basic explanation of what we observe and what we can see water as being. Water needs to be contained. So with that being said, I won't say the earth is round, I won't say the earth is flat, but if water has to be contained and we see that something's spinning up there, I mean, I can't say there's nothing spinning down here, but I do know that in here, nothing is spinning. Because if this has to be contained, then even the firmament at the top may have a firmament at the bottom spinning, but the earth inside of it and the water is not spinning. So you can say it's round and flat in my eyes, but you watch the What is Water video, always remember that every liquid has to be contained. You have blood in your body, you need skin to contain it. We shed tears, most of our body is fluid and liquid.